before we start today's video, let me tell you guys how YouTubers make money. So there's YouTube money from the YouTube views, which contrary to popular belief isn't all that much. The main money, my main salary is supposed to come from product placements. When brands come to me and tell me, okay, feature our product in your video. And by making today's video, I'm actually putting myself at risk. As a fitness influencer in India, the people who are going to come to me with the brand deals are the supplement industry. But in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys the truth about the supplement industry. Remember, my dream isn't to make a lot of money through BeerBiceps, it's to empower a lot of people. And that's what I'm trying to do through today's video. I want to make you smarter to make better decisions when it comes to supplements. Now, getting to the real question of the day, is it possible to build a physique without supplements? So there's a short answer and there's a long answer. Short answers first. This is a picture of Manohar Aik. He's the godfather of Indian bodybuilding, and may his soul rest in peace. Now, he used to gym in the 50s and the 60s. Supplements came into the mainstream in a big way only post the 1990s. So he built his physique naturally without steroids and without supplements. But forget Manohar Aik for a minute and let's talk about someone more modern. Let's talk about Akshay Kumar. No supplements, no steroids. And this is how he looks at the age of 45. Now you ask anyone who's been gymming for a while, anyone who knows their training and their correct diet and nutrition, and they'll always tell you that the food you eat and the sleep you sleep and the kind of training program you follow is way more important than just your supplements. The only people who will give more importance to the supplements are your gym bros. And most of the time, unfortunately, it's these same gym bros who don't have an impressive physique or impressive strength levels. It's always these casual gymmers who will give more importance to supplements. You ask any experienced gymmers and they'll always tell you the truth. But in saying that, keep in mind that the supplement industry is one of the biggest chunks of the fitness industry. So it's not like the products they're manufacturing are absolutely useless. Of course they help you, that's why the industry exists in the first place. But this is where the longer version of the story comes into play. Okay, the first thing you need to understand is why do people use supplements? You gotta understand that supplements are called supplements because they're supplementing a larger process. And what is this larger process? This larger process is the process of bodybuilding or putting on strength. It's the process of getting gains. So to get gains, what you have to do is you have to first damage your body in the gym, come home and fill it with the correct food. You have to hit your protein goals, clean carbs, good fat and all of that. When your body repairs itself, it repairs the damaged muscles and replaces them with stronger muscles. And that's how you generate gains. Now, what supplements do is that they help this entire process. So either your supplements will help with your recovery, it'll make this whole repairing process faster, or it'll help you push harder in the gym, it'll make your training more effective, or it'll help you hit your diet goals, it'll help you hit your protein goals or your carb goals or something like that. Okay, so that's the good side of supplements. They do add some kind of value to your life. But just how there's good food and there's bad food, there's good supplements and there are bad supplements. I'm going to come to this topic later, but the first thing you've got to understand is that if you ask any intelligent gymmer, anyone who really knows this fitness science as I call it, they'll always say this one thing. A lot of supplements, most of the effects are actually psychological. As a gym bro, as someone who's still in the beginner intermediate stage of gymming, when you go and buy a supplement worth 4,000 or 5,000 rupees, you're investing all that money in that little jar of that supplement. So you'd almost want to tell yourself that, yeah, of course, those 4,000 or 5,000 rupees are totally worth it. I've spent that much money, it better be adding some value to my life. And unfortunately, it's this psychological aspect of supplements that just take over the average gym bro's mind. Unfortunately, gym bros start believing that a supplement is great for them even if science says otherwise. But remember, you ask any experienced gymmer, anyone who knows their fitness science. Okay, forget the experienced gymmers. Ask intelligent YouTubers like Omar Isuf, Shreyas Kamath, and they'll all say this one thing. Supplements probably only affect your gains about 10 to 20%. The remaining game is all about your diet, it's all about your nutrition, it's all about your training plan. Leave supplements for the steroided up guys. They've already got chemicals in their body, and the supplements, of course, they'll help them way more than they're helping a natural bodybuilder. So if you don't want to put steroids in your system and you want to keep it as natural as possible, your focus needs to be training, nutrition and your sleep. Supplements are a super secondary aspect of things. So in today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down all the supplements, all the common supplements found in India into three groups. The white supplements which actually work and are good for you and are value for money. The grey supplements which do work but aren't great from a health perspective. And the worst of all supplements, the black supplements, which are black because they're super expensive and you're wasting money on them. They're not adding much value to your life. So let's go. And keep in mind, in today's video, I can't go into the deep science of each supplement. I'm just going to brush on it a bit. But I'm going to break down some myths for you guys. Okay, so first let's talk about the white supplements, the heroes of the supplement industry. The two products from the supplement industry that actually add value to your life: whey proteins and creatine. Both these supplements, the thing you've got to know is that there's a lot of research done on these supplements. There's a lot of clinical tests that have proven that these are the two most effective supplements. And obviously I'm talking also from personal experience. I've used a bunch of supplements, but these are the two supplements that stand head and shoulders above the others. And if you want fast gains, if you want to help your process of getting gains, you need to embrace these two supplements at some point to see the effect it has on your body. That's my opinion. Okay, and the other thing you've got to know is that in today's video, I'm not going to go deep into the science of the supplements. So if you want to learn more about how whey proteins and creatine help your gains, make sure you check out the videos I've already made on these topics. I'll link those in the description below. So that's that with the white supplements, the ones that actually add a lot of value to your life and are cost effective. Now moving on to the grey supplements, which do help in the whole process of your gains. But do you need them in your life? Absolutely not. Now this includes fat burners, pre-workouts and mass gainers. Now here's what you need to know. Let's take pre-workouts first. Now pre-workouts, super effective, but when you break it down, what are pre-workouts? It's just a shot of caffeine. It's a stimulant. It's stimulating you for your workout. And caffeine, unfortunately, is an addictive substance. It's almost as addictive as cigarettes. So when you get dependent on a pre-workout in order to work out, you can't work out without a substance. It's literally substance dependency. When your pre-workout jar gets over, you need to buy another pre-workout jar. You're not buying a supplement, you're buying an addiction. And that's why I'm against pre-workouts. But again, this is a topic for another video, which I'll cover in detail at some other point. Coming to fat burners, again, it's just a stimulant. It's increasing your metabolism because of all the stimulants present inside that fat burner. There's a lot of caffeine that accelerates your heart rate and things like that. Once again, this isn't natural for your body. So of course, it does help in burning fat. And the other thing about fat burners is that a lot of overweight people tend to embrace fat burners thinking that, they'll lose weight fast. Fat burners aren't meant for overweight people. Fat burners are meant for people at a very low fat percent to bring them into that single digit fat percent zone. That's the people who should be taking fat burners, bodybuilders, fitness models, things like that. It's not meant for the average person. Remember, both pre-workouts and fat burners are stimulants. They affect your sleep cycle. And in the long-term scheme of things, if you're serious about long-term fitness, your sleep should be given more importance than anything else. That's why pre-workouts and fat burners always say no to it, in my opinion. Okay, so that's that with the fat boy products. Now let's talk about products for skinny guys, mass gainers. This is something that Indian gymmers will really embrace. Mass gainers are absolutely useless protein shakes. It's just a marketing gimmick. A mass gainer is essentially just a high calorie protein shake. It's helping you hit your protein goals and your calorie goals. And pound for pound, it's a little more expensive than whey proteins. So it's something that you really shouldn't embrace. Instead, you should be embracing simple whey protein concentrates like I've spoken about in my other videos. And if you're not able to hit your calorie goals, hit them with some kind of good fat like nuts or egg yolk, not mass gainers. Stop turning to mass gainers, especially you skinny guys. See, of course, it's going to help you put on weight, but it's not the most practical decision. And finally, moving on to the worst of the fitness industry, the black supplements. Now, the reason I'm against these supplements is that they add very little value to your life despite being very expensive. And they don't do much for your gains, but great marketing from the supplement industry has led people to believe that these help your gains a lot. Now, these include supplements like BCAAs, CLA, arginine, L-carnitine, and almost everything I've not named in the white and grey supplements. Now, I can't go into the science of each of these individually, and in the future, I will be covering each of these supplements individually. But for now, all you need to know is that the amount of value that these supplements add to your life is very little, once again, compared to something like sleep or correct nutrition or your correct dieting. Remember, if you take sleep, if you take a good 8-9 hours of sleep and make that a supplement, that'll help way more than even your whey protein and creatine. Okay, let's take a whey protein and creatine itself. It probably helps the whole process just by 20 to 25%. And comparing that to these black supplements, which probably only help 2 to 5% in the entire scheme of things. Remember, the only people who promote supplements like these glutamine and BCAAs, are either gym bros for whom gymming is more about supplements than anything else, or trainers who get a cut from selling these supplements to you, or the third, unfortunately, are the steroided up people who don't know much about correct fitness science, but based on the gains they've made because of the chemicals they've put inside their body, will be able to sell their knowledge as real knowledge. Remember, when it comes to fitness, don't listen to an individual, listen to science. And there has been no long-term clinical research which says that BCAAs and CLA and arginine help a lot. See, I'm not trying to say that they don't help at all. They are supplements for a reason. They are making some little bit of difference to your body. But for me, my main concern is your money. I'm trying to empower you. Get empowered. Don't spend money on things that aren't adding much value to your life. Instead of spending money on these black supplements or even the grey supplements, if you really want to embrace supplements, stick to the white supplements. To be honest, I am a fan of natural bodybuilding, completely natural. And by natural, I mean just real food like non-veg or even vegetarian protein and clean carbohydrates and things like that. If you want to spend those 4,000 rupees, don't spend it on a jar of substances. Spend it on something that can actually make a difference to your life. Remember, those supplements will only help you kind of hasten up the process for a bit. But if you're serious about fitness, your main concern has to be long-term fitness. And long-term fitness, as always, boils down to the basics. Correct nutrition, correct exercise, and good sleep. And that's how you maximize your gains, not by supplements. So if you were wondering whether you can absolutely create a great physique without any supplements, the core answer is yes, you can. It's just that the process might be a little bit slower. But to be honest, I feel that when you work hard for something like a physique and you do it completely naturally, the end goal, you'll value it much more when you've done it absolutely naturally. And I have friends and I have clients who have built bodies naturally. So if you're one of those people who really doesn't want to embrace whey proteins or creatine or anything like that, go for it, do it. You should know that it will take you a little bit longer, but at the end of it, the kind of body you'll create will have a lot of value and you'll feel like you've actually achieved something. So either way, guys, that's all for today's video. I just hope you guys liked it because this is one of my most honest videos till date. The main reason I'm doing BeerBiceps is to empower you guys. Stop getting fooled by the fitness industry. If you want to follow my personal fitness journey, remember you can follow me on Instagram at BeerBiceps, on Snapchat at ranveer.1693. My Facebook page is facebook.com/BeerBiceps. As always, guys, you know I love you, but what I really am concerned about is empowering you. So get empowered and keep hustling. I love you guys. See you next time.